Hi friends, let's learn about exception handling in Java. Friends, let's see some introduction theory part about exception handling in Java. An exception in Java is an occurrence that modifies the usual course of a program's execution. It happens when something unforeseen or incorrect happens while a program is running, such as division by zero, accessing an array index that is outside its bounds, or attempting to open a file that doesn't exist. If an exception is not handled correctly when it occurs, the program stops unexpectedly. Java's exception handling framework offers a reliable and potent mechanism for handling exceptions. Okay, friends. I do have one image with exception sequence classification, which elaborates exception errors, stack flow, overflow error, the M error, assertion error, out of memory error. These are all the exception errors. Please go through this image carefully. So friends, now we are going to take an code example on exception handling. So continue to our code program now. Now friends, see here I have one class with name EH. So now I am going to create one method with name divide here. So let's continue to create that method. Public static public static int divide. This is our method name divide. I am going to define the parameters now. Int dividend, int dividend, int divisor. Okay friends. So friends, we have created a method to perform a division and which throw an arithmetic exception if divisor is 0. So let's create one condition in this method. If divisor equal to 0, if divisor equal to 0, throw new arithmetic exception. We have to define here a arithmetic exception with message division by 0 not allowed. So let's create that throw new arithmetic exception. Throw new arithmetic exception division by 0 not allowed. Pass the message here. Division by 0 not allowed. Semicolon to continue the program. Save the code. Now friends, you can see that we have getting error here. First of all, let's complete this condition. Uh, Now we have to write here a return statement. Return statement is dividend divided by divisor. Okay, save the code. Uh, Sorry friends, we have created this method in main method. We have to create this in not in the main method but in the our class scope. So let's paste that method here. Now save the code. Again we are facing error here. I have misspelled the spelling of arithmetic. Let's do correct that. It's arithmetic. Okay. Now let's save the code. Now friends, our code is clean now. So now just save the code and let's move into main method. Now define the try and catch block with calling divide method. Now I am going to define the try and catch block. Int implementing the method int result is equal to divide 2 by 0. Okay. Now let's write the code to print the output. Sysout control space pass the message result plus result. Save the code. Catch the error arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception E. Okay. Print a message for exception. That cannot divide by 0. Cannot divide by 0. Okay, right? Save the code again. And finally block console here we have to write finally executed. Finally executed. Okay friends, now we have complete our code here. Now let's run our program. Now friends, you can see that we do have an output cannot divide by 0 and finally executed. So friends, here what we have done, we have catched the arithmetic exception error cannot divide by 0. So friends, let's again revise our code once time. So inside the class we do have an static method named divide. This is our static method divide that takes two integers dividend and divisor as arguments. This method is responsible for performing division and throwing an arithmetic exception. I am repeating again, this method is responsible for performing division and throwing an arithmetic exception if the divisor is 0. Otherwise returns the result of the division. Okay. Now in the main method inside the try block. The divide method is called with arguments 2 and 0. We have called the divide method with argument 2 and 0, which will trigger an exception because dividing by 0 is not allowed. This dividing by 0 is not allowed, hence it will trigger exception, cannot divide by 0. Okay, and in the catch block the code catches this is our catch block. In that block the code catches the arithmetic exception that was thrown in the divide method and prints a message indicating that division by 0 is not allowed. And finally block contains code that will always execute. This finally block contains code that will always execute rather of whether an exception occurred or not. So in this case it will print executed. Okay friends, this is all about this arithmetic exception error program. Now friends, we are going to see about the code example on null pointer exception. So let's see some introduction part about what is actually null pointer exception means. So friends, when a program tries to access or perform operations on an object reference that is null, not pointing to any object, it throws the unchecked exception known as a null pointer exception. This error will be thrown if you attempt to call methods or access fields on a null object reference. Okay friends, so now let's continue to our code. Let's create a string word null. String word is equal to null. We have created here a string reference name word and initializing that word with null. Okay, now let's define and try and catch block, attempting to get the length of the string which will throw null pointer exception. Okay, now I am going to define here try and catch block. Try int length is equal to dot word dot length select from list. Now let's print output. Write the code to print output. Length of the string, length of the string plus length plus length. Okay, now write for catch block catch what catch the null pointer exception. Null pointer exception. Okay friends, sys out, write the code to print the output. Please put the P capital here. Okay, So type the error here. Error, the string is null. The string is null. Okay, friends. So friends, let's run our code. You can see that friends, we do have an output with message error. The string is null. Now friends, see here. If I change the string here, if I add the string instead of null, then we do get output as a string length. We do get output that the length of the string. The program output will be the length of the string, whatever, 2, 3, 4, 8. So if I type here string high, I will get the length of the string as 2. Length of the string 2, because here are 2 letters. Okay, now let's check that by running our code. Now friends, you can see that length of the string 2. Okay, so this is all about null pointer exception. So friends, let's again revise our code. So again revise our code with string value null. So here what we have done, a string reference variable name word is declared and initialized to null. This means that it does not refer to any actual string object. So we are here not referring any actual string object. And later on inside the try block, there is an attempt to get the length of the word string using the length method. Using the length method. Since word is null and does not refer to a value string object, this line of code will throw null pointer exception. Okay. And in the catch block, the code catches the null pointer exception that was thrown and prints an error message indicating that the string is null, because we have initialized string word here with null. Okay friends, so this is all about exception handling in Java. These are two short code examples we have discussed, we have seen in this video. You have to practice more examples to get more perfection on exception handling in Java, uh, to get the to practice the code examples. To practice the code examples, you can visit to GitHub, or there are many websites to learn Java. So you can get the code examples from that website. Okay friends, so thanks for watching the video. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel Code GP. Keep coding, happy coding. Thank you once again.